While the content updates for Splatoon 3 have come to a close, that doesn't mean Splatoon is slamming the brakes on the hype anytime soon. The standard weeklies are still coming out strong to give teams some heated competition, and it seems there will be another way for Splatoon to get you up in the morning. Hello, I'm Falco, and let's break it down in this week's episode of The Weekly Ink. IPL had a strong showing with SwimmerSync 163, and before delving into the players, it's interesting to note that the map list was based on players' votes from previous winners of SOS to make the map list in the future more friendly to top-level players, along with the prioritization of splat zones. Either way, 70 teams came to take the crown, including top teams like Duck Motif, Facade, and many other strong pickups to make the Great White Bracket a behemoth of a bracket. However, it was for the bag, consisting of top-level players such as Max, Nolan, Orito, and Len, that were able to take the crown after going 3-2 against Hog and Facade respectively in the semis and finals in a nail-biter of a set. Earlier that day, Dapple Productions held their weekly paddling pool to give European players a shot at the top and everyone else who wanted to take a crack at the early bracket as well. 20 teams came out, and while Last Number had a very good showing leading up to the winners finals, only dropping a single game beforehand, it was not enough against ASC Tenchi, who was able to knock them into the losers bracket after a close 3-2 set. While Last Number was still able to claw their way back out of the losers after sweeping BVB, ASC Tenchi was still able to close it out in grands in another close 3-2 to secure the win for Paddling Pool 287. Later that same week, Dapple Productions made sure to give Splat Zones the full lockout tournament as they usually do with Triton Cup 88 to give players the all Splat Zones practice they need. While only 15 teams came to grind to the top, it was a heated competition all the way through, even for the champions, Liam Lulugays, who had nothing but close sets before taking the cup, as they went 2-1 against Myopsidus in round 2 and 3-2 against Toad in the winners finals before sending out Toad for good in the grand finals going 3-1. From the Ink Cup also held another tournament for the low-level players to have an environment where they can battle other low-level teams and get stronger together. And while 52 teams came out to climb the ladder, it was Krillstreak who, while only dropping 2 games, climbed all their way to the top in a dominant fashion. Prism Break was also held this past week, which is an open-level weekly that prioritizes splat zones in its map list. 20 teams came out with Distortion running through the competition from start to finish, taking the gold dominantly over Triggerfish Zone Supremacy, who they were able to sweep in winners finals and then in grands 3-1. However, this week's Magnumopus had to be in the Zone 37, which saw many high-level teams come out to participate in the major tournament, including Fluffy Black Lotus, Duck Motif, Facade, and many other pickups including top-of-the-line players. One top-level pickup consisting of Charara, Hypno, Half, and Quasi absolutely tore up the bracket. While they were only 7th seeded and they took out pickups like Woomy XD, Monsieur George, and Allen Fan Club, which they had to 3-2 twice to claim the crown. But that wasn't the only tournament that top players were looking at, as Charara himself ran a tournament once again putting special limitations on what teams could use. The limitations were that Reslider weapons can't use special power-up to cheese zones, both pencils were banned, along with most weapons using Killer Whale 5.1, Tenta missiles, Big Bubbler, Trizuka, and Triple Ink Strike. The only ones from those specials that lived were the Carbon Roller Deco, Splat Roller, Blaster, Rapid Blaster Pro Deco, and the custom Dowser Dualies. However, teams could only choose one of them and they could not use special charge-up. The only way for teams to use 52 Gal, Squeezer, and Flingza Roller was if Screen was banned. However, they have the same limitations as the other weapons mentioned before. 60 teams signed up for this event, including top talent like Starburst, Duck Motif, Moonlight, and Mango Heckmech. However, it was Air Gregoire who consisted of Gray, Zara, Wami, and Lemon Tea that were able to come out of nowhere and stop the dominant run that Starburst was having up until that point, 3-1ing them into the winners finals and then going on to a 3-2 win against them in grands to clutch it out. Early on the morning of October 9th, out of nowhere, Nintendo revealed a new alarm clock developed by their EPD team called Alarmo, which includes Splatoon 3 content to allow players to experience getting splatted even as they wake up from their dreams of winning it all. How Alarmo works is that it uses motion sensors to detect when you get into bed at night, and it starts to play sleepy sounds to put you to bed. And whenever you set the alarm, Alarmo will pick one of 35 different alarms to wake you up. And if it senses you haven't got out of bed yet, it will play louder and louder alarms until you do so. The alarm will even play a fanfare when you get up, and throughout the day it will play little sounds at the top of the hour. Also, not only does it include 7 different alarms from Splatoon 3, but also from Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Ring Fit Adventure, and Pikmin 4. Alarmo will also get free updates in the future to include alarms from more different games, and we all know the future lineup so far is Animal Crossing New Horizons, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Right now, Alarmo is exclusively online for NSO members, but is also sold in the Nintendo New York store for $100. If you want to wake up to Splatoon noises or fanfare to start your solo queue grind, Alarmo is a perfect tool to get you up in the morning. But with that, that's all the time we have today. Let us know what you thought down in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you at the same time, same place, next week. Have a good one.